baby.
For the second time.
For the second time. Like we never left.
Hey, well, look, man. Today, I really just want to dive, right in, right?
All right.
So we've had a lot of amazing people here at the show. We've had a lot of amazing athletes, a lot of radio personalities, a lot of music and entertainers come by the show. But I don't think so far, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Outside of the mayor, we can't forget. Can't forget Andre.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Dre,
we can't forget Mayor
Dre.
Dickens. Yeah, he told us call him Dre.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll call him Dre. Yeah, we can't forget Mayor Dickens. But outside of the mayor, the mayor of Atlanta, for those who may not live in Atlanta, outside of him, we haven't had many execs.
Oh yeah.
On the show.
Yeah, we haven't had any execs. Maybe Doug, Dollar DP.
Yeah.
But I mean, go ahead. I'll let you set up. So you do it much better than me.
No, I'm just saying, it's. I think a lot of times we get I won't say we get caught up, but a lot of times we can spend a lot of times on what's happening on the field, on what's happening on the court, on what's happening on the stage, what's happening behind the mic, you know what I mean, what's happening in front of the camera, and we don't really focus on or shine light, at least with our podcast so far, shine light to those who are behind the scenes, who help pull the strings, who help make these dreams come true for the entertainers and people in media, such as ourselves.
Yes.
We all have people who play a very intricate role, very, very just great part of what we do, you know what I mean? And so today we have us a CEO here today, you know what I mean? Yes, a big boss. Someone who we have known before we even started this podcast, and we knew through music, and now with her transition in sports as well, we connected again, through that. And so, man, I just want everyone to really take the time and really pay attention, listen, because not only will this be something that can educate you on, business wise, but it's a female that's out here doing big things in a world where us as men, feel like we dominate,
Yes.
but the women, boy, they knock doors down and they make plays happen.
Yes.
They get
she's
it done.
one of the big shakers around.
Yeah, man.
Doing her thing, man.
Yeah, man. So today, man, I want y'all to give it up, man. We got to make as much noise as we can. Give it up for Denise Thompson. We call her D from Advice Sports and Entertainment. Yes.
D's in the building.
D, Miss Denise, what's up?
Wonderful to be here. We don't really get like you said, we're always behind the scenes, so we're never in front of the camera. So this is new.
Okay, this is new. So do you like being in front of the camera, or you prefer to just let me stay in the back and make things happen?
I actually prefer to be in the back.
Okay.
Just because people always wonder who you are.
Mm.
And they see you in the room, but they're not quite sure what you do.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of powerful in that because you get to view everything.
Yeah.
And you get to really see what's going on and where you need to make plays or not, really.
Well, I love that you said people may not know what you do and you get to see what's going on, because when a person you don't know knows who you are, everything you do, they can put up a front or a facade.
Right.
But when they don't know what your role is or how important you are to the situation, sometimes you might be able to see something in someone you really need to see. That could be good or bad. You know, you might need to see some signs.
Definitely, and in the position that I am, and you definitely want to be kind of scoping everything out and making sure, okay, who is that guy? Why are they coming up to my guy? What are they trying to do? So you're always aware of the situation and what's going on. So you make sure that, people's best interests are at heart.
Yeah,
and so
100%.
It's really good for me to be able to come in and kind of sit back and watch and view the room and make mental notes on what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, let me say something, y'all. Look, don't let the smooth demeanor fool you. And I know y'all wondering, like, okay, we know her name, but what does she do? Like, tell us a little bit tell them, because we know what you do. Tell them about, some of the clients that you have and what you do and some of the people you represent, because I don't think they know, and we need to let them know. We need to blow your horn, man. So go ahead. Start off your roster, man. Let them know.
Oh.
She said, oh.
Because they out there wondering. They're wondering right now.
Yeah.
So D, go ahead and run it down so they can see. Oh.
I have the
okay.
AJ Terrell.
AJ Terrell. She got 21 Savage, D. Alford.
No, I don't have 21
Oh, well, she had 21 Savage. She was a big part of his career.
Young Nudie.
I do not.
I'm sorry.
I have Young Nudie.
Young Nudie, but you've
I've
been coached a lot of their teams.
Savage tour.
That's right.
But no, never had 21 Savage.
Okay, well, I apologize.
But I've had some great producers and a lot of great athletes. I'm in soccer now, so Miles Robinson
Wow.
with the U.S. national team.
That's big.
Is one of my clients, and
How did you pull that
just
off?
go check out Advice Sports ENT. You'll see them all.
How did you pull out the soccer?
Actually, I don't recruit. People come to me, and I've had a lot of great parents and a lot of great execs, and people just inquire, and if it's the right fit, it's the right fit. I don't try to force anything. I'm selective. I don't want a lot of headache.
Yeah.
And what I do is very valuable for my clients, and so it's an honor and a privilege to have them, but it's also an honor and privilege to have me.
I love that.
So
I love
That's
that.
popping it.
Well, she let it be known. It's an honor and a
like
privilege to
that.
have me be a part of the team as well. I love
Yeah.
that you said that. So we met through people with our show call him Stiller Mike.
Yeah.
But we met through Black Mike, and that came through your managing and being over blessed.
That's correct.
Super producer.
Yes.
And that's when we were trying to get him to do some tracks for Jake Lambo and then Javi at the time. And one of the things that we always spoke about, you talked about your transition from corporate America into working with Blessed, and now all that has transitioned into what you're doing now. So how was it going from being a CEO on the, like, because you done a lot of things for a few colleges in the athletic department and different things that how was it doing those things and running these different programs, and then deciding, you know what, I'm gonna leave this, I'm gonna take a leap of faith, and I'm gonna go over here and help this young man be what he wants to be and what I think he can be, and then everything that you're doing now.
So I was in corporate America.
Yeah.
UPenn grad.
Okay.
My brother talked me into coming to Boston.
Okay.
We opened the first Subways, so we had 3 Subways and a Dunkin' Donuts while I was getting my MBA in Boston. And it started from there. I was a singer-songwriter.
Okay.
Really?
All right. Now that we didn't know. We didn't know.
I was in the studio, but I really didn't like to be in front of the camera.
Okay.
And so that's a problem if you're going to be an artist.
Yeah.
And I actually came to Atlanta to start working on my music. And I met Ida and T.L. Harris at the time.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember them. I think they had Swiss Beats at the time.
Okay. I can't say that I personally know them. Be
I heard
Rich
of Ida.
Be Rich and Aaron,
Yeah.
Aaron knows.
Yeah.
But they introduced me to a group called Rough Night, and we started working together. And funny enough, I started managing them
That's funny.
as producers at the time. They were doing a lot of different things, Bishop and Larry and those guys. And they got separate deals throughout the years. And I got into corporate America. I
Okay.
went from the Subways to Amoco and BP. They had the fresh food concept with the big formats that they were trying to bring about, because remember they had the 600 square foot shops and all of that.
Yeah.
And they wanted a fresh food concept, and I had been at Subway, and so it just seemed like a natural fit. They hired me to come in, and I don't know, about 6 months later, I was over about 14 split seconds, and then BP and Amoco merged, and I was over
It grew even more.
beverages. And so Budweiser called on me, and Coca-Cola and all of those guys, and that led to me being able to help them with the Budweiser True Music Live program. So Jaws of Life, I don't know if you remember.
I heard of
them.
Jaws of Life.
Yeah.
And those guys, I got Pastor Troy and those guys,
Jaws
their
of Life.
first deal with
Yeah.
Budweiser.
You know, we call him Champ.
Yeah,
Jaws of Life.
Champ, yeah.
We grew up playing baseball against
Yeah,
each other.
yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the older guys. He was like really a legend at Gresham Park. Like he really was.
Yeah.
He was a legend in baseball. Like
Yeah.
awesome. Like he
For
was
real?
Yeah, when you bring up name Champ, everybody at
position he
Gresham
played?
Park. I can't remember what position he played, but everybody knew Champ. Like
Gotcha.
you bring up the name Champ at Gresham Park, everybody knows Champ.
He was a phenomenal rapper.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
That too.
and so, yes, I started working with him, Budweiser True Music Live program, and then I progressed. I was over capital assets and mergers, and I was over all of the oil pricing when, 9/11 happened. That was my first week on the job.
Oh wow.
And yeah, so I was in corporate for a long time, and then I transitioned out. I didn't want to go to Warrenville, Illinois. They were moving everything out.
Yeah.
And I started working with Landmine Entertainment at the time, and
Okay.
doing some stuff with them and their artists, and then I got called by Miller Brewing Company to come to California, and I headed there, and I started working with B2K and doing some stuff.
Wow.
So corporate by day, entertainment by night.
Yeah.
Remember FYEs?
Yeah.
We
I remember
did a lot of
FYEs,
stuff
yeah.
with
It was
with
like really
FYE.
big in doing stuff locally in Atlanta. I remember them.
And then I got opportunity. I got recruited to Corona, and that's how I ended up in Chicago. And at the time, I was working with a young lady that was signed to Def Jam, and she had a boyfriend named AJ Green. And so
Okay.
I got to work with both of them. That's how I got into sports.
Yeah. Oh, AJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is beloved. You already know
Yeah,
that. He's
yeah.
beloved in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
The whole family.
So was he like working with AJ? Was he one of like the first people that, as you started to make that transition out of corporate when you
He
worked
wasn't.
with him? Okay.
I was still in corporate, and I got recruited over to Jim Beam. And so I was working with AJ when I was with Jim Beam. And, it was the first time, that I was working with a guy. He was the number 4 pick that year. There was a lockout year.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was dealing with his agents, and I think they called me up and said that he had borrowed or gotten some money from them, and it was time to pay it back, and they wanted it all back by Friday. And I was like, wow, that's what happened, because I was new on his team.
Yeah.
And it just stuck in my head, if I had ever had a chance to do this again, I would work with kids before they got a deal with an agent or anything else. And of course, he could pay it back. He was the number 4 guy.
Yeah.
But what if he was the 6th round guy?
It'd be a lot tougher.
And back then they only made like 17 paychecks. And so, I thought, okay, I want to help kids and their families make better business decisions early on in their career, so that they don't have to go through something like that.
Yeah.
Because that kind of stuck in my head. And I started working with this group called I Dare You. And they had, 20, 30 kids, and we were able to grow that to 250. And, the owner of I Dare You, that's where AJ, Xavier McKinney, Michael Carter, all of those guys went to. So I got to know those kids when they were in 6th, 7th grade.
Oh, wow.
And I was helping out those kids during that time. And, people were trying to get me to work with older guys that were in the league. And I was like, nah, they have already kind of in their set minds. They already got their families. They already have their gatekeepers. And they're already set in their ways.
Yeah.
I would rather work with our kids and help them to make better decisions early on. And so, even with AJ, I was doing the college thing with him. I'd call him up, where are you spending your money? Stop buying all those sneakers.
Yeah.
And I started working with his families. And I transitioned from Jim Beam to here, to Atlanta.
Okay.
And worked with Newer Rubbermaid for a couple of years, and Al introduced me. Mike's friend introduced me to a kid named Bless.
I was going to ask you, how did you meet
And
Bless?
he did. I just want to rolly with a dab of ranch, the Rolex song, and he was the most positive kid I had ever met.
Yeah.
I didn't know whether he was for real. I was like, "Are you for real?" Like nobody can be. He was like, "Peace and blessings" and all of that kind of stuff.
I want to take it back a little bit,
Yeah.
right, bit, because I hear you going, but I want to. It's just kind of like you come from corporate and you was into music. Mm-hmm. All right, so you said you started working with was it a Def Jam artist, right?
Yeah.
All right, so how did that become when you met AJ Green? Why did he come to you and say, "Hey, a sports figure like that, just say, hey, I want you to help me with sports," and you have a corporate background and you come from music?
Because they were dating each other.
I got you on that, but what is it that
So they introduced me to him, and ultimately, I think I left Chicago. I met here in Atlanta, and I met him for the first time, and I was like, I can help you. I'm working with major corporations, so I'm sure I can help one kid. I might not know everything, but I'm sure I can learn pretty
So
fast.
what is it that you kind of you thought like what could you help him with? That's like people
Just making really good business decisions.
Okay.
Because I was, when you're over revenue management for a major company, you're dealing with
a lot of numbers.
a lot of numbers and making sure that we're have top line growth, and I was responsible for that at Jim Beam, making sure that we brought in the numbers. We took our increases every year without, losing a lot of volume. And so it's art and science to everything, right? And so most people, they want to take everything up and then deal it back. And I just think it's more strategic to look at a particular brand and see the growth of that brand. And, something you could take one brand up because it has a strong market position, but the other brand, you may only be able to take up pennies or hold. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with any other person or any other brand. Athletes are brands. Entertainers are brands. And so it's what you're going to do with those brands that is most important. So you look at everybody the way where they are today. And some people can transition further. Some people, they got to hold steady, right? Because I can't be out on the field or be out, singing the song at the tour. You have to do that work.
Yeah, they have to get that done.
And so it really depends on. So I just saw him as another brand. You know what I mean? That
I understand.
That I could help.
Yeah, that you could help
grow
build up.
And to see where he was at the time and position him personally and professionally.
Yeah, let me ask you this. But speaking of athletes and artists being brands, I want to stay on that for a second. Tell us like any situation or any time where it was like hard to get the person to see themselves as a brand, because I think that's when you come into, at least my experience in the music business, it's hard to get artists to see themselves as a brand, even with what we do now. Now we come from music, so we can see it now, but sometimes when you're just doing something or you gifted to do something, is what you're doing, you don't necessarily see yourself as a brand. And people can make bad life decisions and make different things that can hurt that brand. Like, what are some tough conversations you've had to have where you've had to show someone and educate them on, like, listen, you are a brand. Like, everything you do, you are a brand. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, I think for me, it's you can't start that right away. You got to meet people where they are.
Okay.
And so I always, even in corporate and all that, I always like to come in, just kind of look at the situation, get all the information, And so I do a lot of analytics. Hey, give me your personal account, give me all your information, because I can tell a lot about a person by how they spend, by what they do, and the people around them are going to be really important, right? So not only do I want to know you, but I want to know your mom and your dad, your girlfriend. I want to know everybody around you that helps you to make decisions, because it takes a village, really.
100%.
I can't be the only one trying to tell you.
Yeah, you telling them one thing, and there are people telling them another thing.
Right, we all have to be on one accord.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the first thing I do is I want to know your parents. I want to know who's helping you make decisions.
Yeah.
Because we got to all get in a room together and make these decisions together.
Yeah.
And depending on where you are, you might not be ready for me to tell you that you're a brand. You might just need to pay your bills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got to take baby steps before we take big steps.
Okay.
And so there's always a plan when somebody comes in to see where they are and where we need to go. Because if I take you too quickly, you know, you might retreat, or you might, you know, shy away from it.
Yeah.
And, you know, especially entertainers, sports guys are a little easier because they are dealing with coaches all the time. So they're always getting direction. And so they'll listen more. Entertainer for me sometimes is like, oh, I know what I know. You're like, well, okay. Well, tell me what you know.
Definitely understand that.
Yeah.
And so it's making those little steps to see, okay, you know what you know, but let's see if we can do this better.
Yeah.
And why don't we try this? And if it doesn't make sense, then we'll go back to what you know. Yeah.
Well, you make a good point. Like, I never looked at it that way. Athletes are always taking direction. They are, and with entertainers, for some, you could be making a song in your bedroom or making beats in your bedroom, and next thing you know, you got a hit, and everybody's asking you this, and now you out into the world.
Yeah.
And they don't really know how to take direction. All they know is, I did this, it became successful, so I must know something. And they just go off of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't make it forward. They think they know it.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to let B-Rich jump in. It was important to me, not just because of our relationship, for us to interview you, but it was important because of who B-Rich is as well. Because you guys' story, though you may have worked for some even bigger corporate companies than he worked for, but you both came from corporate America.
Right.
And chose to dive into entertainment, and then took that path on and became successful in it. So that was very important. I'm glad that we're able to sit down, because B. Rich's journey was a lot like yours, just for different companies and in a different field.
Yeah, I came from a couple backgrounds. I was a assistant store manager at Walmart, then became a buyer. Then I went from there to Nabisco, was a sales rep, and then I went there to be a pharmaceutical rep. And on my way to being a district manager, doing very well. And then the rap music hit me, B.O.B. My little cousin, you know, I came in and kind of became protective of him, and we did great things together. So, you know, the corporate America kind of like was a big reason I was successful in music, because it taught me not to meet deadlines, but to beat them, you know, and not to be afraid to just pick up the phone and just call people and whatever, not be I'm too cool to call somebody, too cool to whatever. I was always aggressive and trying to just knock down walls.
Yeah, I used to call myself an entrepreneur with corporate discipline.
Okay.
Because we started off with the 3 subways.
Yeah.
And so,
it's dope.
Nobody knew what Subway was when I was like 19 years old.
Yeah.
You know, and we started a whole lunchbox.
That was just what, like 96?
But what I'm saying is that when I went in corporate America, though, now you start looking at different functions.
Yeah.
There's marketing, there's, you know, operations, there's all of these different functions. And so I was like, oh, okay, I got the money now. You know, because when you're an entrepreneur, you got to find out.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
where
You got to make the money.
you got to pay
figure
this
it out.
bill or whatever else. I was like, all I got to do is just manage it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is easy. and really, I got bored a lot of times because I would conquer something and I'd be like, oh, I'm just so bored with this.
Yeah.
And so having, you know, my entrepreneurial spirit outside of corporate actually helped me to do both.
Yeah.
And so corporate funded what I really wanted to do.
Okay.
I love that. I so speaking of corporate funding, what you really want to do, I saw a clip. I don't know where you were talking, but it was something you had put out on social media where you were explaining that you try to tell, you know, whether it's artists or producers, you try to tell people all the time, like it's nothing wrong with working your job and continuing to pay your bills and build yourself up as you chase your dream. Like, can you speak on that somewhat? Because it's somebody young out there right now, and it's somebody older out there right now who has put everything into what they're trying to do and may feel like they don't need to go work a job, or they can't work a job, or they can't, like, speak on that importance, because I think that's something that does get lost in the chasing of these dreams and in the wanting to be an entrepreneur. A lot of people lose that.
Yeah, I would work with a lot of younger kids. It's like, I can't have a job, but then they can't pay their rent. And so it was always up and down. And I'm like, dude, why don't you just get any job? Go to Kroger.
Yeah.
Get a job, get some income so that you're stable. Because the up and down swings are really what deter people from their dreams, right? Because you going all in, but you about to lose your house or lose your apartment. How can you focus on really what you need to do to move further when you got to always keep going backwards?
Yeah.
And it's about your mind. It's about your mind, really, and being able to focus on a couple of things. Let me go to my job. Let me get this paycheck so I can pay my bills. So those bills can fund what I'm really trying to do, which is be an artist or a producer or whatever else. You got to have stability to be able to really focus. Otherwise, your mind is swinging from, where am I going to live?
Yeah.
Your focus and attention is off.
Yeah.
You need stability and that focus and attention to be able to really pursue your dreams.
And you can start making irrational decisions.
Oh,
and then you start making decisions based strictly on money.
Yes.
You know, you may see the deal and know it's not the best deal, but hey, I need this money.
Oh, well, let me sign this contract. I've seen so many people sign bad contracts because they're trying to get a little bit of money that's only going to last you for so long.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta actually look at both your personal and your professional life, because they both have to be in sync with each other to actually win.
I agree, and that money it doesn't last. It's only gonna last you as long as what you owe.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah.
You got something you wanted to jump in with, Be Rich?
No, I want to ask, like, from your transition to working with artists and working with athletes, is there, like, who's easier to work with? I think you kind of put that on earlier. You're saying that, athletes all their lives have been just, kind of told.
I love music. Yeah. So I'm always rooting for the artists, right?
Okay.
And I love sports too, of course. Yeah. But, sometimes I just shake my head because I'm like, come on, dude. We've had this conversation. Why do you feel like you have to live this, like, facade?
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know. Oh, people won't understand if I'm living here versus there. Are they paying your bills? Are they paying your bills? Because I don't care what people say.
Yeah. As long as you're safe, you good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I like them both in different ways. I see the potential in everybody, really.
Yeah.
And how do we mold and shape that potential and help them to grow in a way that's meaningful to them, and that's going to help them to have generational wealth and do things differently than what they've done in the past. Because it's a mind shift.
It is, and you know, like perception is everything, and a lot of people do want to keep up with perception.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, something that I also want to touch on with you. Your journey, you know, could be inspiring for so many young women out there, so many young girls, not only just females who are out there trying to conquer things, but black females. So, I mean, what are some of the challenges that you've experienced along your way from corporate America to now, and just anything, you know, you would share to someone coming up who may be trying to take a similar path as you in corporate America, or take a path in entertainment, working in what quote unquote would be a male dominated industries?
I would say you have to stay true to yourself. You have to be strong. Not everybody has to get there the same way. You know, people think that, oh, I need to be the entertainer, or I need to be the athlete. But there are so many different positions that, you know, you should explore.
Yeah.
I love sports. I love entertainment. You know, I wanted to be an entertainer, but then I was like, but do I really want to be an entertainer?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do I want to do what it takes to be out there? And then I started looking around like, oh, I could do this and still, you know, be a part of music and sports and be true to myself. I think people think you have to be in the limelight, and you don't.
Yeah.
And you still can have, you know, everything that you want to accomplish.
You can.
You just have to research it. You got to research what do you love to do.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm happier more now today, and you probably can attest that, than I was ever in corporate America. I could do the job, but that wasn't, and my mom and dad always said, okay, you got to have a job now.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, oh, I want to be an entertainer. She was like, you didn't go to Penn to be an entertainer.
Yeah.
Do that. That's a hobby.
Yeah.
You know, do that on the side. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do anything. Do what you want to do. There's so many resources that you guys, we have today that we didn't have growing up. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have Instagram, social media, Chat GPT, or any of that kind of stuff. We had it harder, but at the same time, because there's so much scrutiny now, they have it harder too, but in a different way.
Yeah.
You have more resources, but more people are watching you.
Yeah.
And so you just have to think through what it is that you want to accomplish, get a plan in place, and start reaching out to people that are doing it. You can reach out on Instagram now.
Yeah, you can.
You know, people reach out to me, you know, all the time. You know, DM, and even if they just want some information, a lot of times I just try to point them in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know, so just be true to yourself. Find out the different areas of whatever you want to do. Ask for help, and just push forward. Don't worry about what other people. If I worried about what other people said I was or wasn't going to do, I wouldn't be doing nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, but we know you're doing a lot.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot.
Look, funny how time flies when you're having a great time. So I want to close it by saying this. I mean, I'll let Trey, if he has some closing words they want to say. It's this. I know you know you may not be from Atlanta, correct?
No.
So who is your favorite NFL team? Who's your favorite Major League Baseball team, and who's your favorite NBA team? We just want to sell for since we're a sports talk show.
So I've always been a Cowboys fan.
Oh!
I have. I've always been a Cowboys fan. I grew up in Orangeburg, South Carolina. The Cowboys the Steelers and the Giants.
Cause that's about all y'all had on TV.
Yeah, that's all we had. And so, and the 49ers.
Yeah, that's who was on your TV screen.
And so I became a Cowboys fan.
So what made you like Roger Staubach?
And I was a
White?
Lakers fan.
Oh, who?
A Lakers fan because
that's all was on the TV.
that's all that was on
She
the
sound
TV.
like the hometown haters, man.
Well, look, and, I mean, this before the Panthers.
Yeah. We didn't have no Panthers.
Yeah, there were no Panthers. The
No.
closest pro team to them was the Falcons. When you look at what Orangeburg is, I would say the Falcons may be the closest.
Yeah.
And they
pro
weren't
team.
even on TV.
Yeah. In fact, we couldn't watch them in Atlanta. You
Yeah.
sure couldn't watch them anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So that's what I grew up with. But now, you know, when I go to my games and the Cowboys are playing, I'm still rooting for my guys.
Okay.
You know.
So you root for the Falcons, right?
Yeah, I root for them. When I go to the game.
You did not seem too enthusiastic about that, D. You said, yeah, well, when I go, look, you heard the caveat to that. When I go to the game. So that's the only time.
Of course.
When she
of course,
goes to the
I love
game.
the Atlanta Falcons. I love them. I also love the Cowboys.
Okay.
They shouldn't have gotten rid of Jimmy Johnson.
Well, you know, him and Jared,
But, you know,
they were like two
Hey,
Rams.
we were winning all the Super Bowls,
Going at
and then
it.
we weren't. I
Yeah.
mean,
And
so
we see why.
and it's been a disappointment. But you know, I still root for them.
So do you have any NBA players or like NBA guys want to come to you, think?
I've got a few. I'm not going to talk about it.
Okay.
We're working it out.
Get to the money.
Okay. Shit. Man.
Get to the money. Get to
Yeah,
the money.
you know, I love all my guys.
Yeah.
I love all my
That's
guys.
awesome.
Yeah, we when we interviewed AJ, and we're gonna let you get up out of here. When we interviewed AJ, he told the story about how when he got his first check, he had you told him congratulations. He saw the money, he refreshed, and it was gone.
Oh yeah, we put that up. It was up in the investment account.
Tell it from your perspective, because we haven't put that clip out yet. Well, the whole episode is out, but we haven't like just focused on that one clip to tell that story. Tell it from your perspective, and what you were doing to continue to protect him and invest for him. Because some people might hear it and be like, it was gone, and maybe they don't take the time to understand what he was saying.
Yeah, I mean, when we first start out, we always talk about budgets. And he knew what his budget was. That's what he would get on a monthly basis. And we have a plan. You know, the plan is not to ever have to work again if you don't want to, right? And so a lot of people will go out and I understood what he wanted. He told me what kind of car he wanted. We agreed on the car. We also got him another car because that car he shouldn't drive every day.
Okay.
But we had a plan, and the plan was to invest quickly. And the timing of the market was right. And so.
Oh, yeah, it's right around COVID, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, everything was down.
Yeah.
Get in now.
Yes, get in now.
Yes.
And so, you know, I don't even want to tempt you.
Yeah.
To start thinking about other things.
Yeah.
I wanna let's invest now. I mean, we got college guys that are investing now. It's time.
Yeah.
You know, because if there's so many people that lose it all, and why? If they have the right team behind them, that's going to help them to make really smart business decisions, and get them involved early in the thinking process of what are your goals, what do you want to accomplish, and where do you want to be, you know, then there's no issue, right?
Yeah.
And I know I wanted them to see it.
Yeah.
I wanted them to see the money
and feel what it was like.
Okay, you saw it. Okay,
It's invested.
let's move it over here to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah. And
To secure your future.
Yeah, and I'm sure looking now, what was that, about 5 years ago? I'm
Yeah.
sure now he's, like, because he told the story, it was funny, but he told it with respect for the situation. So
Right,
I know it has turned into something that he's happy about.
Oh yeah. He's
Yeah.
more
Look
than
at the
happy.
smile.
He's more than happy, and now we've done what we needed to do there. Now we can look at other, you know, private equity investments and those kind of things, because he did the right thing early on.
Yeah.
You know, whereas some guys,
Yeah.
they just don't have the opportunity
Yeah. Or don't have the guidance.
or the guidance.
Or the team.
Yeah. So.
Well, look, Denise, we thank you. D is what we call you. You know what I mean? We thank you for coming by. For those out there, if you just got your ears shut and not listening, it's Advise Sports ENT. They can go to the website and learn more about it. Because who knows? You may have a son or a daughter, or a nephew or a niece, or it may be you. You may be young and you may be making your way up, and you may be making waves in your sports or in your particular entertainment field, and you may need Advise Sports ENT, or you may need some advice from someone like D, and who I like to call the silent killer, Ashley, in the background. We didn't really talk on her, but shout out to Ashley.
Shout out to Ashley.
Yeah, and your whole team. So
and Trey,
what's up?
And we're doing stuff with Rusty Manziel. And if y'all see us out, man, any of you high schoolers and people about to go to college, if you want to get her information, just hit us up, man. We'll definitely put you in contact with her, because we're definitely seeing some 5 stars out here, Trey. Yeah,
well, I mean, hey, we'll have to get her okay on that. We'll send you to the website.
Of course.
We'll send you to the website if nothing else. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, now we hey man, the world is just a few degrees of separation here and there, right?
It really is.
Yeah, so there's always more likely going to be someone we'll run across who she probably would love, and we would love to make that connection. So long as you good with that, we would love to make those connections, because it's a lot of,
we
like
always
he said, it's a lot of people
teaching and learning, and growing. I love working with kids, really, and their families, and making sure that they're.
Now, we foresee this being one of the biggest agencies in the world, man. So I'm glad to know you before it becomes.
But thank you. I just got one of my global players, but all right.
So look, all y'all athletes, y'all flood, be rich as DM. Thank you once again, and shout out to Black. Shout out to Black Mike.
Shout out to Black Mike, still a Mike.
Yeah. Who has been the glue in our relationship together. Us knowing. Yeah, Black is he awesome guy. One of my best friends. From the moment I met him, we've been close from the very first day I met him. Yeah, really,
he's
really
wonderful.
Yeah. Some 20 something years now. Me and Black been 30 years now.
Wow.
Me and Black been friends 30 years. But look. Make sure y'all go check out Advise Sports ENT. We thank you once again, Denise, for coming by. And shout out to all the athletes who are under Denise. We rooting for the Falcons, you know what I'm saying?
Always the Falcons.
Shout out to all of y'all, but when y'all play the Falcons, we only want AJ to be victor. You know what I'm saying? We only want AJ to succeed and offer. Those are 2 Falcons you got, right?
She got some more, man.
You got some more Falcons on your belt that I don't know about?
Yeah, I got a few more.
Okay, then. You know it. Incognito. That's right. Stay in the background. But look, on that note, we're going to sign on up out of here. Remember, the Waterboyz Show, we represent Atlanta because Atlanta represents us. On behalf of myself, Trey, my partner, B. Rich, Aaron, Pittman, the Waterboyz Show, we are out.